Basics of the beaver. The North American beaver weighs approximately 30 kilograms and is about 1 meter long with a 30 centimeter tail. The average lifespan of the beaver is approximately 10 years in the wild and 20 to 30 years in captivity. These creatures are nocturnal with webbed hind feet, raccoon-like hands, and small eyes. Its most notable physical feature is its large orange front teeth and thick, rich fur. They mainly eat tender wood just under the tree bark, meaning they are herbivores. Beavers' teeth are orange. This is because whereas other rodents have magnesium in their tooth enamel, beavers have evolved to have iron. So beavers have orange teeth for the same reason we have red blood. The iron causes the orange coloring in the beaver's teeth, making them stronger against mechanical stress and makes them more resilient to acids. So basically, they have metal-like teeth. These large incisors are constantly growing, with the anterior side being more dense than the posterior side. This happens so the posterior side wears down faster, thus keeping it sharp. If beavers did not wear them down constantly, they would soon grow out of its skull. By wearing down constantly, a beaver eats approximately a kilogram of wood per day. That is a lot of stress, and they need to be able to survive. The thick, oily fur of a beaver has made it a prime commodity in the fur trade. These beavers have glands around the anus where the oil is dispensed and the oily substance is spread around its body by its hands. This oil makes it waterproof and very, very good against the cold. As the seasons change, this fur grows thicker for the winter and vice versa for the summer. Other highlights of the beaver's physical attributes are its 2.5 centimeter thick tail and approximately 30 centimeters long. This paddle-like tail allows it to swim with ample efficiency. This tail also used as a warning system for other animals in the area. As it spots a predator, it slaps its tail like a whip, making a noise alerting all the prey in the area. Animals rely on the beaver for its notification of predators. Beavers also have an acute sense of smell equal to a wolf, thus amplifying this ability to notify prey of its predators. What makes this beaver adapted to semi-aquatic life and dam building is its webbed feet, helping it swim, clawed hands, giving it a raccoon-like grabbing ability. The beaver can stay submerged for 15 minutes. Its small eyes have a thin membrane that allows it to see underwater with a high degree of efficiency. These creatures build dams and lodges for survival, as this creates an environment they survive well in. The lifestyle of a beaver. Beavers are most popular for their ability to build dams. This ability is what makes them a keystone species of the American wetlands. These dams range from 10 to 100 meters long and 1 to 2 meters thick. These dams create a pond which floods the area. These dams don't stop the water flow, they only delay the stream so it doesn't impede the river down. The structure of the dam is built with sticks, stones, and mud. This dam does not allow does allow some water to seep through. The beaver is also built a structure of a lodge. It is sort of like a dome on an island in the middle of the water. It's sort of like a castle and a moat, and it's insulated from the cold. Its only entrance is through the water. This makes it very difficult for predators to get in and very easy for beavers to transport. Beavers are monogamous, meaning they only mate for life. In the winter, beavers do not hibernate, but they do spend a lot of their time in the lodge during the winter. They're basically dormant throughout the entire winter season. Beavers store sticks and buds under the water like a pantry, so it stays fresh and can be retrieved when needed. Since beavers are not very fast on land, they collect wood as close to the shoreline as possible. What they cannot reach, they create canals to. They do this by deliberately raising the water level and digging a canal to their desired target. They then chew the tree so it falls towards the water and can be easily brought back to the dam. Since beavers eat wood, they have developed special enzymes to digest a high-fiber diet. They eat approximately 1 kilogram of wood per day. Beavers mate for life, and any interaction between them is circumstantial, so there are never real confrontations between other beavers. Beaver offspring stay and help with the parents until the next brood is born. They then leave because of lack of space. The evolution of a beaver. Beavers have evolved thousands of years to get to where they are today. I will be reviewing 3 separate species of beavers and how they are unique from the rodent family and how this has led them to become the beaver as we know today. The first species of beaver we're looking at is called a Pelocastor, which is smaller than the current beaver and burrowed in holes in a corkscrew shape. They hid in these holes to avoid predators. This was different. This was different from the common rodent because their mating / offspring resembled the modern beaver, opposed to most rodents, and which is less offspring, and they invest more effort and more time into one child. This beaver was not aquatic, but used the den / burrow to protect itself from predators. The next species of beaver has remains found in France, and it is called a stenofiber. This 1 foot long relative of the Pelocastor created burrows near the shore, but they differ from the previous species because they are more aquatic than the Pelocastor, as nature has selected for beavers that can escape into the water. They also employ the less offspring, more effort strategy, which has become popular among the castor / beaver family. It can be speculated that the small size of the beaver held it back from its ability to move wood and trees to suit its needs. The third and most popular species of beaver is called a castroid, or commonly known as the giant beaver. This beaver existed around the Ice Age and had physical features closely related to today's modern beaver, but was approximately 3 meters long with a 1 meter tail weighing about 125 kilograms. This beaver lived around Florida. This beaver was approximately 3 times as big as our beavers today. A castroid is an example about how back in the Ice Age, animals were just bigger than they were today. Also known as the giant beaver, castroids were not just the largest beaver that we currently know about, but is the largest rodent to have ever lived on North America. At the time, the only rodents known to have been bigger than the castroids were in South America. Unfortunately, no clear evidence exists that prove that the castroids built dams like modern beavers. Structures that might represent the prehistoric remains, such as structures that can be explained any of the other ways, like flood deposits, naturally occurring drainage patterns. The available evidence that actually supports the theories that these castroids did not build dams, given their incisors were not well suited to cutting into wood as modern beavers may have. However, since they're related to the beaver, it is speculated that they did build lodges, which by association might indicate that the castroids also built dams. There is no clear way to tell, as the dam would be made of organic material and would then erode and just go away over time. Right? The extinction of the castroid has been speculated for a long time and is shrouded by mystery. While the disappearance of much of North America's megafauna has been attributed to such factors such as extreme glaciation, climate change, supervolcano eruptions, asteroid strikes, human hunting, and combinations of all above. The castroid population are actually known to have been in decline before the mass extinctions occurred. This has meant that the exact cause for extinction of the castroids has been unknown for 200 years, but there may now be one idea which might go some way to explain things. The reduced level of nutrient in the soil, mainly nitrogen, caused the reduction of growth and nutrition quality of plants that would have required high nutrient levels, meaning that trees and plants and herbs and shrubs were just less fruitful and didn't have as much in them. Herbivore animals that rely on these plants ended up having to eat greater amounts to maintain their population, body weight, and just their metabolism. As a result, the trees and stuff with less nitrogen resulted in the crops becoming less rich, and in the following years, which meant animals have to become smaller or die. Right? This in turn also made the predators become smaller or die. The castroids preferred eating plants that required high levels of nitrogen than they would over their successive seasons, and the generation slowly began to deplete as plant supplies dropped. Thus, unable to adapt to eating different plants, castroids ended up starving themselves to extinction, and ended up evolving into the smaller version of our modern day beaver. Other adaptations the beaver has made over time in North America were jaw shapes and sizes, and this is evident through skulls recovered in Eurasia and North America that are different based on their sizes and have different purposes. This can be attributed to different trees and a break in geography.